Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Coffees.
An amazing episode. That's what this is going to be.
Another amazing episode.
Like our weekend was.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Oh, we had a freaking great weekend.
I'm very sore.
Yeah. Achy all
Maybe a
over.
blister on my foot, but we had a great time.
Yeah, I am. I'm sore from sunburn. Decided to do some work with no shirt on. Like an idiot. I shouldn't have.
That sun was like, ooh, white skin.
So I was in a little bit of pain last night going to bed. But no, our weekend, oh my goodness, it was filled with just about everything, right?
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. We had some good food. Boys got to play in the pond.
Well, we tried out I didn't. It was a little, not chilly, but
overcast.
It was overcast, but like 70 on Saturday. So
really perfect weather. I thought it was going to rain all weekend. So.
I was going to get out there on that. I was telling you guys about the 2-seater float that we bought with the cooler. Well, the boys beat us to it.
Of course.
So they took it out there. At one point, we were watching them, and they were doing like some full-blown WWE right off the right on the tube. It was awesome to see.
Yeah, they definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
I know. But yesterday we could have definitely used it yesterday, but we were working pretty hard trying to get some tall things accomplished. Doing some. Rafters and some joists and stuff like that. So, or not joists, but the rafters.
Not to mention for me,
trusses.
I feel like I was exhausted. There was no way I was changing into some clothes, and
no.
I might have just walked right in there with my clothes.
But well, I mean, honestly, probably should have, to help us actually clean up just from the dirt and all of that stuff.
Oh my goodness, my toes. That was hilarious.
Boy 2 gave us a flower. So he was like, I thought
Mother's Day. He didn't give it to us. He gave it to me.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. Gave it to her for Mother's Day, and I was like, you know what? We'll put that in there and make him happy to see that. So
yes. So thank you again, Camden and Granny, all the boys actually.
Yep.
It was fun.
It was. Probably the coolest thing. He stayed in a box truck all weekend.
Yep. Camping. We haven't been camping since we were really young.
Very young. Yeah.
Like in our teens.
Well, and in our tents and stuff like that. We've campground last year with the camper, but so this box truck is they converted it over to sleeping quarters.
Yes. Really cool. They have
bunk beds, couches, TV in there. But it's a box truck. It was awesome. Yeah. Just to be able to, no power. I didn't want one. It was supposed to be 50 at night. So it's like, no, that's going to be perfect to have a good night's sleep, being that cold. And it was, definitely was.
Perfect.
So
we had a sleeping bag.
Yep. I actually had to pull the sleeping bag off. It was even too warm for me. So
yeah, not for me.
Yeah, exactly.
I will gladly take it off.
So that was cool. We just open up the door, and boom, right there we were fields and nothing but trees and grass.
Those gorgeous red flowers growing. Yep, it was beautiful. I love being in nature.
Yeah, no, it was awesome just to be able to open the door and there you go, ready to start your day.
Yeah.
So that was cool, and then
a lot of first. Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. And then you get to do the whole camping cooking, I guess you'd call it, which you gotta get innovative on that stuff. So that was really cool to do.
Mm-hmm. And it was really good food. So
yeah, definitely. All around good food. So what do we want to talk about today? I'd mentioned
our passions.
Well, passions. I was trying to being the best you for your spouse.
Yes.
Right? It's a good way to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Meaning, are you a Debbie Downer, or what do they call? I guess a Karen nowadays, right?
Right. Everyone's Karen.
So are you Karen or Debbie, or are you an upbeat, motivating, constantly wanting to better yourself and
those around you? Yeah.
Everybody around you.
Encourage, inspire.
Exactly. So I thought we would start with, kind of like just a brief history of who we are, how we grew up. I know we've done them before, but it's kind of it goes together. So how you grow up? What's your story?
My story. So I grew up with 2 parents who did not graduate from high school. They, chose to bicker on the daily, putting each other down, fighting all the time, throwing things at each other, calling names. It was just not a good environment. So for me, I knew that I had to be better. I wanted to strive to break this generational curse, that has been put on my family, and just create a better life, for my children, definitely for my spouse,
But more importantly, not more importantly, but I mean, you wanted to do those things for yourself, right?
Yes.
There was things that you knew you wanted.
So for the high school thing, that really bothered me, coming up in the 80s, education.
80s. Using 80s, baby.
Yes, 80s, baby. No, so for my family, education wasn't necessarily an important thing.
Right.
And nothing that they, tried to do about it. It was just a way of life, or it was, an excuse for their circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
And growing up, I definitely didn't want that.
Right.
Education was my escape. I love the quote by B.B. King that says
B.B.
something.
King?
Yeah, that says that that education can't be taken away from you. And so for me, as a child, I had many things taken away, or that was out of my control, and that was one of the things that I was in control of, and I could escape to, or
and it still means every education still means a lot to you.
Yeah.
Like you still haven't stopped learning.
Yes. I love learning. I
right.
really do.
But
it's
trying
like a
to
passion.
better yourself, just learning new things,
educating myself on anything that I can devour.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's still you. It's in your core, and you made that.
Yeah.
But
etched in my soul.
Exactly. Mine would be money. So I didn't grow up with much at all.
No silver spoons.
If they were silver spoons, then we were probably going to figure out how to sell them. No. We had 5 siblings. We didn't have a lot of money at all. So
yeah, meeting your family for the first time, that was definitely a culture shock.
Culture shock.
Things I had never seen before. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, it was.
But even getting the groceries into the house, that was like
a full blown. It was a brawl.
Well, and it almost reminded me of like starving children, like getting the food off the truck.
We weren't starving, but I mean.
But that's exactly how it seemed to me, like an outsider looking in.
Like, seriously, Mom would walk in, bags hit the, I don't know, bags didn't even have to hit the counter.
Right, no, y'all are out of the station wagon.
We were body checking each other to go grab, a box of Little Debbie's or just something. We would seriously body check each other, throw each other somewhere to go grab what we wanted, and we would take them as if we were some freaking wild pack of dogs. We would take them and go hide them,
Yeah, for I guess the next time that the food came in the house, or next time someone got paid. Yeah. It was interesting.
Very.
Yeah. I mean, something that I had never seen before, and I thought that I grew up in pretty crazy environment.
Right. So. But yeah, no. So I mean,
fighting for food.
But yeah, money was the goal for me at a very early age. I didn't want to grow up. I didn't want to start a family or anything without money. Like I just didn't want to be poor at all.
Yeah.
And that started from the age of 7, I believe. Had my first paper route. From there, we moved to North Carolina. I don't even think I was in North Carolina, but 6 months. I was working on a horse farm shoveling shit. Like, that was where I got my first pair of brand new tennis shoes that were name brand.
So you always been a hustler.
Hustler, baby. So yeah, that was my goal, motivate. I wanted to make sure my family was always going to have money. I didn't want to be poor. But you know, those are things in our past that could still define us today if we let it. Like, I could have just rolled with it and said, I wasn't born with much. I don't care if I have much. You know,
not gonna leave with anything,
right?
So, yeah.
And our circumstances growing up were, we both could have just said,
turned over and
what the hell, forget it. But
run me over.
And you know, those things that you were describing about, you know, how your parents were with each other. My parents, I didn't know when they loved each other, if they ever did, when we were around. No love. And it was, you know, I could have seen that. They didn't have communication. Their communication was probably something being thrown at one another, or on occasion. They were more so, my mom was a yeller, and my dad was I didn't care. Peace out, I'm checking out. Don't care if I'm here, if I'm not. You know, that's kind of the attitude they gave off to each other.
And sometimes it almost seemed like they literally hated each other and was intentionally making each other's lives hell.
Oh, absolutely.
So it would just be like, okay, is this the last straw, or is this going to be the
And we could,
it's like one upping each other.
Right. Yeah. And we could have decided to. That's all we seen growing up, right? We could sit here and do it to each other right now and not think anything differently, but like we know, no, that's not what we wanted for each other. Growing our marriage, like we knew those things were wrong, and we really honed in on what the heck are we going to be able to, how do we break that cycle? We want to break that cycle.
Right.
That was like, that was
it didn't come easily, not for either of us. And I
not
feel
at
like
all.
That communication, like, hey, like, I understand that you went through this, but we can't act like this, or we can't be like this to one another.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like, you know, you're being this certain way. So can we have a conversation about it, and you can figure out, like, if this is triggering, like, let's stop making it trigger, or let's find a different response.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
No. And,
yeah.
But
we've had many of those. I mean, it wasn't just something overnight. Like, I came and was like, hey, buddy, like, let's, you know, be lifelong great, you know, partners together.
Right.
It takes work. It really does.
And that's what, like, we realized that very early. Like, we came from nothing. We had to work for everything. So it's in us to do that. But we had to switch those gears to, I still wanted to be able to provide for my family well beyond anything I ever had. And she wanted to make sure the foundation of, you know, having that
just good morals, exactly. Good education.
They changed to but so say all of that to say, are we being the best us for our spouse? I could easily sit back and say, I don't care. My parents didn't care. I didn't have it. It doesn't matter. We could have easily did that, you know. And that's probably, honestly, there's probably quite a bit of people in the United States that are so damn selfish, and that's how they would probably think to do things, you know?
Yeah. Well, and so whenever you're, like, immersed in this environment.
We're a very selfish society, sorry.
Yeah. But whenever you're immersed into this environment, and it's just negative or toxic all the time.
All the time. Me.
Yeah, but you're rubbing off on everyone that you are surrounded with. Your children, your pets, your spouse.
At what point do you, like, is this really what's best for me? So let's not get into that too much. That's an episode I was actually wanting to do today. But this one was just...
switch gears instead.
Yeah, this one was kind of hitting me a little harder. Well, that's an episode I'm hoping for tomorrow. Your friends and being toxic and things like that, are they good for you? But are you taking and holding on to those things that maybe you think your past molded you into, or are you doing something different about it?
Changing your perspective, your response to things.
Right.
Yeah. And that, I feel like that's a choice that you get to have every single day. You know, like if you're not having a good day and, you know, there's so many things that you need to do on your to-do list, you know, why not take a breath or, you know, enjoy a conversation with someone that you love, you know, to have that motivation and remember why you are doing the things that you need to do in life.
Right.
And just making the choice to be happy or find joy in things that are, that could be, you know, mundane to some people, but could mean the world to other people. So
even physical appearance can bring in that, if you're not feeling good about yourself, if you're, if you know, your physical appearance could be your health. Physical appearance would be, you know, physical, but even your health for that matter. If you're in piss poor shape,
right,
you have no energy to do anything. Therefore, you're tired. You don't want to do nothing at all. And that comes across, you know, that's but you know,
give a crap mentality, right. Yeah.
But even physical appearance, if you feel good about yourself and the way you look, you exude that confidence, and you know that helps you throughout the day. Because if you get somebody out there that's just, you know, having an off day because they don't feel like they look good or, you know, whatever, they're gonna.
Well, and I think that plays into the whole mental aspect too, because if you're working out, you're releasing those, you know, endorphins, those hormones that are trapped in there.
Sweat.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So, and whenever you work out and you get, you know, up a good sweat, then you definitely feel better.
Yeah. Well, it's scientifically proven, right?
Yeah. So
there we go. I'm a scientist.
Yeah. That's definitely important. So, if you're not feeling good physically, maybe, you know, go for a walk or
run.
Yeah.
Swim.
Do some yoga. Get
your mind right. That's what we're trying to say. Get your mind right.
Yeah. And that'll play into the physical appearance. Yeah. You know, if you feel better on the inside about the things that you are doing, the choices that you're making.
And feeling good on the inside. That's what it's all about. That's what gets you in that right state of mind. If you're not happy with yourself, you shut down, or everybody around you knows she's not, you know, they are not the happiest people in the world if they're not feeling good about themselves. So, and that's everything to do with your attitude.
Yes, absolutely. So, and I think I've said this before, but whenever our son comes home, I make it a point to drop whatever I'm doing and, you know, put a smile on my face and ask my child how his day was. You know, if he had a grummy day or he had, you know, something happen at recess, you know, that he wasn't happy about, or maybe he made a bad grade on his test or something. If I come at him and I'm like, oh, hey, bud, you know, like, this is what happened in my day, so what about yours? You know, you tell him about your bad day, he's going to tell me all his negative things about his day.
And if that's everything, if that's what he hears all day, every day, because of the choices you make of not willing to be positive, then they pick up on that, and before you know it, you two are just sitting there griping with each other about the day, about the world, about people.
Yeah.
You know?
So what I've realized is whenever I change my, you know, my face and give him a smile and ask him how his day was, I genuinely want to know, and I'd like to hear his perspective, even if I knew that, you know, he got a bad dojo point or, you know, something did happen on the playground. Even if I did know about it already, I would still ask that same question, just so I can get his point of view of things and maybe try to switch that in a positive light or change, you know, his thinking about it. You know, maybe they were having a bad day, or you think that people talk to him like that whenever that, like, he's at his home. Maybe he thinks it's okay to come to school like that. So
Right.
just giving your kid that different side of you, the, hey, how's it going? Like, how was your day?
But
Tell
also
me
letting
about-"
him know that it's okay. It happened. There's nothing we can,
The only
it's-
thing
it's
that you
all
can
right.
change is yourself and your response.
right. Like, let it go. Just,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
it happened, but let's move on,
Right. And so what do you do to, I guess, unwind and be your best self or a better spouse to me?
What do I do? Mm-hmm. Let's see. How do I unwind? I don't.
Alone time.
Hot tub.
There you go.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. So I can get some thinking in, but I'm a positive person all the time, pretty much. But that's how I guess I would unwind is a hot tub. Before, I think I've said it before, I'd be out on a basketball court somewhere.
Yeah.
But
your joints are old now, a little creaky.
yeah, no, we gotta work on that. But yeah, I think it's just a hot tub, or I'll go down and I'll wax my bike.
Yeah.
Wash and wax my bike again and again and again and again. So that's
But that brings you joy.
yeah,
to
and cutting grass.
Yeah, to
You're
some extent. So,
Yep.
and it's just a place for you to.
sit back and I can get in my own head. Well, I'm a deep thinker, but like I stop and I'm thinking about, okay, if there's something we're struggling with, I don't go to that. What is she doing wrong? I go to that. All right, what can I do to correct it? Like,
What can I do to make
I
this
process
better?
what I'm doing to
Yeah.
come off that way.
And that's really been like a good mind shift because, coming from our families, they definitely were not thinking of themselves and what they were doing. They were always placing blame on others.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
that
But-
is a
and that-
good mentality shift. That.
And I'm
work.
saying that is the problem today. Everybody places blame on everybody else rather than sitting back and
taking responsibility.
and then even if you try to explain something, or even if you try to tell them that they're doing something wrong, everybody just shuts down, and then they don't want to talk to you for months. And it's just like, stop, realize that you too are at fault. But that's how, being the best you, I think, is extremely important, because if you're not the best you, everybody around you knows it. And if you're just deliberately out there trying to
throwing out negative vibes,
be a negative Nancy, then it's not good. Stop it. So that's it. That's all I got. I am gonna go find some Tylenol or something, because fortunately it hasn't rained in a while and the pollen is kicking my tail.
Oh, you need to be dried out, huh?
I do need to be dried out. I'm sitting over here trying to sniffle to myself and not be heard. But thank you guys very much. I'm glad we get to do this.
Yes.
It was fun. So
Very glad.
until next time, I think you guys are probably gonna know the topic. It's why are you helping your spouse pick your friends?
Oh, next time. Yes.
Yeah. So thank y'all very much.
Thank you. And if you like this episode, please like it, share it,
I can't believe I forgot
subscribe.
that.
Yeah.
All
You gotta
that.
do your funny little pictures.
My pictures, fun pictures.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.